Hari Om. I'm going to discuss the subject of mind. For yoga, the mind is very important. It's a very important tool. It's a very important dimension that we are working on all through our life. It's the most important tool in human evolution. So let's study how yoga looks at this mind. Yoga discusses the nature of mind. What is this mind? What is its nature? What does it cause? What does it do? If you look at all the yogic texts, including the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali or Bhagavad Gita or Hatha Yoga, all of these yoga texts have defined what is yoga. And every definition of yoga involves mind as the most important tool. So all the interventions of the science of yoga, which includes different yoga practices such as yoga poses, pranayam, meditation, cleansing techniques, mantra chanting, yamas, niyamas, all of these techniques, all of these components are primarily aiming at mind. And why the mind is so important in yoga? The mind has a direct connection with Atma. What is Atma? Atma is who I am in the purest state of consciousness. And mind is a gross state of the same consciousness. Mind is also often said to be the reflection of this pure consciousness, like a mirror to this pure consciousness. And this mirror is dirty. It has lots of conditionings, has lots of memories of experiences of the past. And that's what disturbs our understanding of the nature of ourselves. And that leads to false identification. But in any case, if you say mind, that is where I identify myself with. Who I am. I am my mind. And that's how I am related to this concept of Atma, the consciousness. In simple words, when I say I am talking, I am doing this, I am experiencing this, I am thinking, I am making a decision, everything is happening in the mind. So self-identification is mind. Then mind is the source of all our experiences. Whether these experiences are positive or negative, we experience it in the mind. If someone praise me, that brings a positive experience. Where is the experience? It's in the mind. Someone criticize me. Oh, I feel terrible. I feel angry. But where is that feeling? It's in the mind. Oh, I am very peaceful. Where is that experience of peace? It's in the mind. Oh, I am very stressed. Oh, I am anxious. Oh, I am depressed. It's in the mind. Mind is the reason for our sufferings and our happiness. If someone tells me, oh, you got $1 million, oh, wow, I'm happy. But where did I experience this happiness? $1 million, getting $1 million news. Where is the happiness? It's in the mind. And then someone says, oh, you just lost that $1 million that you gained. Oh, I'm experiencing, oh, pain, sadness. Where is the experience? It's in the mind. And who caused it? The money that didn't belong to me came to me. But who perceived it as happiness? It's the mind. And when I lost that money, which was never mine, I'm experiencing sadness. Well, who created that sadness? It's the mind. So this is how important mind is. It is a source of all our experiences, whether it's positive, whether it's negative. Whether we experience peace or stress, it's the mind. Whether we are experiencing suffering or happiness, it's the mind. A very beautiful description in yoga text about mind. Mind is considered as a kalpa vruksha, an imaginary tree which fulfills all your wishes. There is a very nice story of a man who was walking in the desert. He was very hungry, he was very thirsty, he was very tired. And then one fine moment he notices a very beautiful tree, and the tree has something magical about it. So he is naturally attracted to that tree. And when he goes under the tree, the shade of the tree is magical. He feels really peaceful and happy there. And the cool breeze starts. Although it's very hot under the tree, he experiences cool breeze. The moment he relaxes, a thought comes to him, what if I get a very nice chair to sit and nice cold water to drink? And to the surprise of this man, from nowhere, a beautiful chair, which is so comforting and relaxing, appears. And water, cold water, in a nice silver glass appears in front of him. He can't trust his eyes, but it's a reality. So he sits on the chair, he drinks that water, he's very, very happy. And a thought comes to him, oh, what if I get very nice food? And to the surprise, a beautiful lunch dish comes in front of him, and it has so many wonderful recipes on it. And he starts eating. Oh, the food is delicious, makes him so happy. Once he finishes the food, he thinks, oh, what if I get a nice comfortable bed and I can lay on the bed and I have some nice breeze coming, and there appears a bed and a very nice air conditioning machine, and he feels very cool and relaxed, and he rests for a while. And then when he's very comfortable and very full, when he's full with his tummy, then he thinks, oh, what's happening? Whatever I am thinking is coming true. Oh, what if a thought comes to me like a tiger will come and eat me, and a tiger comes and eats him? This is a story of my mind. This tree that fulfills the wish is my mind. What I wish, I get it. As I think, so I become. This is that story. So mind is the most powerful tool that I have in my life, in the journey of my life. Now this mind is actually connected with four other different layers. Total, I as a human being is divided into 5 layers, 5 different bodies called Panchakoshas. I only identify myself with physical body as per the modern medical science. But yoga does not identify only with physical body. Yoga identifies with 5 different levels. The first level is Annamay Kosh, or the physical body, or the body that is made up of food. And the food is made from the 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air and space. This earth, water, fire and air and space, they make up my physical body. I already know that the 70%, 65% content of my body is water. And there is earth in my body. Then there is air in my body. There is fire in the form of energy in my body, the bioenergy. And there is space in my body as well. So all these 5 elements make up the food body. But more subtle and more powerful than this food body is called Pranamaya Kosh, pranic body, energy body. The prana, the life force, the energy, we can't really see the energy, but it exists. I feel it when I'm angry. If I'm angry, even a, a friend of mine who is standing next to me, he feels it. He says, oh wow, what a strong energy. Or someone is depressed. Say, oh, it's so sad. I feel it. So this energy body is more subtle and more powerful. The mainstream science has not accepted it, but there is a technique called Kirlian photography, which registers and records your aura. This aura is this pranamaya kosha, or you can say aura is similar to what the yogis have called as pranamaya kosha. This is energy body. The third is manomaya kosha, or mind. Mana is mind, which is even more subtle than the energy body. The more subtle it is, the more powerful it becomes. The mind is there. Everywhere. And the mind identifies with every part of my physical body and energy body. My mind says my legs, my knees, my spine, my head, my brain. And all of these parts have energy as well. The legs have energy, the head has energy, the brain has energy, the spine has energy. So there is a connection between the physical body and the pranic body and the mind, mental body. Then the next body is called Vijnanamaya Kosha. Vijnanamaya Kosha or Vijnanamaya Kosha. Vijnana is knowledge, wisdom. And there is a lot of wisdom imbibed and embedded in my Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha. And actually this is the wisdom that operates the whole of the physical body. In the form of DNA and RNA, the information is encoded. This is Vijnanamaya Kosha. And the last is Anandamaya Kosha. This is the body that belongs to the divine consciousness, the pure consciousness, the unconditioned state of consciousness, Ananda, bliss. This is the dimension of Atma, the pure consciousness. If you look at even one cell of our body, the one cell of our body has all the physical elements, the earth, water, fire, air, space. There's some energy, there's some oxygen, there is some earth material in it, there's some space in that little cell. The cell also has the energy around it, the stored energy when released, the pranamaya kosha, the pranic energy is there in that cell. Every cell also has the mind. Every cell also has the DNA and RNA, that is the knowledge, the wisdom. So in a way we can identify with these 5 koshas has 5 different levels of bodies that exist in me. And out of this, the mind is the third layer. But this mind is connected with the first two and the last two as well. The knowledge that I have, I can access it through the mind. And my experiences of the mind can influence the knowledge and wisdom, the conditionings. My habits can change my DNA. My thinking can influence my DNA. There are a lot of studies that say. So mind is very strongly connected with Vijnanamaya Kosha. And mind is the one through which we can reach the experience of self-realization or enlightenment or Atma or Anandamaya Kosha. Moving, the mind has 4 different faculties. The mind is divided into 4 different components. The first is manas, which is thoughts and counter thoughts. We have lots of thoughts all through the day, even in the night when we sleep, we have lots of thoughts. And there are counter thoughts. Though so many different thoughts, they keep coming. They don't stop. It's very hard to control thoughts. It's almost impossible to control the thoughts. When we try and do the meditation, the thoughts keep coming. When we try and focus, the thoughts keep coming. When I'm doing some work, the opposite thoughts also keep coming. So this is the first component of the mind. The second component of the mind is buddhi, intellect. This is where I make decisions. This is where I decide right, wrong, what is good for me right now, what I should be doing in this situation, or what is overall my action, how it's going to be. It's all taken by buddhi, intellect. The next is chitta, or it's called storehouse of impressions, sanskaras. Now this is a very interesting part of the mind. All the past experiences, the past events, even the events from my past life are stored in chitta. They're stored in the form of impressions. In Sanskrit, the impressions are called sanskar, conditionings, or habits that I form over a period of time. They are all stored in a component of mind called chitta. And the last component of this mind is ego or I. Now this is a binding force for all three, the manas, buddhi and chitta. This ahankar, that I, binds it together and gives it a form. When a thought comes, I can say this is my thought. When the decision is taken, I say I have taken the decision. The chitta, the experiences and habits, you say this is my habit. So that I is a binding force for all these three. So this is what is our mind. The mind functions through this. Whatever positive habits I form, they are through these 4 faculties or 4 components. Or whatever negative habits I form, they are also through these same 4 components. The desires that I have, they also go through these 4 components. When I see a chocolate, a thought comes, or I think of chocolate because there is a thought, and that thought makes my intellect decide, oh, let me just go and get it. And this intellect and thoughts are stimulated and triggered by my past experiences or the impressions I have stored in my brain. The impression could be, oh, the chocolate will make me happy. And then the I orders the body, walk, to the chocolate and eat it. So this is how these four faculties work. Then if you see the mind, it works at four different states. And these four different states have different levels of consciousness. In psychology, the theory of Sigmund Freud about the mind, he has talked about three states of mind: conscious mind, subconscious mind, and unconscious state of mind. Interestingly, all these three states that Sigmund Freud has talked about are the first three steps in yoga as well. But yoga has fourth state also. So let's understand these four states step by step. The first step is Jagruti, or conscious or wakeful state. Right now when you're listening to this lecture, you're conscious. So you can hear the external sound through the speaker of your phone or your tab or your laptop. So you're conscious. You are in the state of wakefulness, wakeful state, awake. But then there is another state that we can experience during our sleep, that is subconscious state or dream state. It is a borderline state between sleep and wakeful state, conscious state, where we experience dreams. Now in this state, there is no contact with the external world. We lose the awareness of time and space. In our dreams, we can go in the past, we can go in the future easily. Or in the dreams, we can go to different places. Some people even go to moon in the dream and come back. There's no limit on time and space. The conscious mind is bound by time and space at that time, at that moment, at that place. But subconscious mind is free. But there is third dimension of the mind, which is unconscious state of the mind, where there is no awareness. We experience it in very deep states of our sleep. We have no recollection of that. We can recollect some dreams. But then most of the deep state of our sleep, we have no recollection. But yoga says beyond these three, the mind has a fourth state. That's called Turiya, Turyavastha. And that is a transcendental dimension of the mind, where the mind has become one with the Atma. And this is the state of enlightenment, nirvana, samadhi. Now this state is interesting and is still not very clearly understood by us, by all of us. The yogis who experience this state, the masters who experience this state, they have not described it, because it goes beyond the conscious, subconscious and unconscious state of mind. So you really don't know what is that state. There was one study done on a meditation master from Buddhist traditions, and his brain was being scanned when he was in the state of deep meditation. Initially his brain was very calm and the activities of the brain went down. All the parts were very relaxed and in a very optimal functioning state. But then as he went deep into the meditative state, some changes happened, and suddenly almost all parts of his brain showed activation, higher level of activation, and every part of the brain was communicating with every other part. Left brain was communicating with right brain. Different lobes were active. They were communicating with each other. And this is a state which was never observed before. No other scans have ever shown something like this. So this could be that transcendental dimension of the mind, but very little things are known about this state. But yogis have described this state as state of samadhi, or Buddha called it nirvana, where there is no duality, there is no pain and suffering, there is no negative experience. It's just harmonious, blissful, positive experience. Now this mind is influenced by three gunas in a very big way. Significant influence the gunas exert on the mental functions, the thoughts, emotions, the reactions that we have or we experience in our mind. What are these three gunas? Guna is quality. Yoga says every object in the mother nature is influenced by these three qualities: sattva, raja, and tama. The sattva quality indicates the harmony, the purity, the balanced state, the peaceful state, and a state of wisdom and knowledge. The rajas state is the state connected with the actions, dynamism, the desires, the motivation, the desires and ego and anger, they are present in that quality of rajas, and that motivates the karmas, that motivates our mind to do the karmas. The sattva quality is the wise, pure, peaceful, balanced state of our mind, and we experience harmony in that state. In the rajas state, the mind experiences more desires, ego, more dynamism, more motivation, and the tamas state of our mind indicates the ignorance, laziness, reluctance to change, absence of wisdom, under the influence of conditionings and habits. Sattva is a state of Buddha's mind, pure state of mind, no desires, no ego, a balanced and peaceful state which results in unconditional love. That wisdom brings that wonderful smile on his face. This is sattva state of mind. The rajas state of mind, when we are full of desires, we are motivated, want to achieve something, want to get something, want to have this thing, want to work hard for this. This is all motivated state. That is rajas state. And tamasic state, tamas state, darkness, ignorance. Someone is just taking the drugs, is addicted to drugs, is conditioned. Tell him 100 times, get out of it. The law enforcement agencies have punished him, doesn't want to change. This is the tamas state. It happens to me also. I want to change my habits, but I really find it hard because of the influence of tamas. The sleep and laziness are also the results of tamas. So the mind has influence of these three gunas. Now if you look at how the mind of a yogi, of a yoga master looks, the mind of a yogi is balanced. The thoughts of the yogi's mind, they are balanced. My mind doesn't have balanced thoughts. If I start worrying, then I just go on worrying, and I can't really stop them. So there's no balance in the thoughts. It's just one-sided. When the thoughts of anger come, it's just going on with anger. I can't really control them. The mind of a yogi has balanced state of thoughts and emotions. My emotions are always on this side or that side. There is no balance in between them. Causes me excitement and causes me sadness. So I rarely find peaceful state of my emotions. I'm either sad or sometimes I'm really very happy. Sometimes I feel stressed. Sometimes I feel otherwise anxious. Sometimes I feel jealousy. Sometimes I feel love. It's like fluctuations. But the mind of a yogi, he experiences always a balanced state of thoughts and emotions. Say unconditional love and peace. This is a balanced state of our mind in relation to thoughts and emotions. Then the state of the mind of a yogi is focused and concentrated, as opposed to the dissipated and distressed state that generally we find ourselves. We are overwhelmed with the work, so my mind is dissipated, so I have no energy left. When I go back home, I can't do anything because my mind has no energy, because it's dissipated and distressed. But the state of yogi's mind is focused. The yogi can function anytime. That doesn't happen with all of us as common human beings. The yogi's mind is always peaceful. And here happy doesn't mean excited. Here happy means a peaceful and blissful, content state of mind. So the contentment is more important word than excited or happy. So the yogi is content, whether he gets something or whether he doesn't get something, whether you praise him or whether you criticize him, whether he loses something or he is awarded with something. Always content state. And there is control over his thoughts and emotions. So he can control his thoughts, he can control his emotions. I can't control my emotions. When it comes to the subject of anger, my anger is decided by everyone around me. If someone talks to me, that can make me angry. If someone doesn't talk to me, that can also make me angry. If someone smiles at me, that can make me angry. Someone doesn't smile at me, that can also make me angry. So my anger is actually controlled by everyone around and everything around. Whatever I get from my government, that decides whether I'm happy or whether I'm sad, whether I'm angry or whether I'm peaceful. I'm just describing the situations where my emotions are influenced by outside situations and events and people. But yogi's mind is opposite. He decides and he controls. His mind is full of faith and devotion. Belief in himself or herself. The faith in that universal cosmic energy of the Mother Nature, and is full of unconditional love. You can relate it with Buddha's mind. He was full of unconditional love. There was deep belief in his own abilities and his connection with every object of the Mother Nature. Then the mind of a yogi is aware of his responsibility, what he needs to do. We keep changing our path. Every few days we have these new ideas and new thinking going on. The yogi continues on one path, and that path is of responsibility, duty, giving back as his dharma. So he is following karma yoga all the time, fulfilling his duty to give back in whatever form. And the last one is there's absolute non-attachment with the material desires as well as people around him. Although the yogi is trying to help everyone, he has unconditional love for everyone around him. There is non-attachment with people and non-attachment with material desires. And this is undoubtedly the goal for every one of us. This is how our mind should be, because this mind is free of all sufferings. This mind is full of unconditional love. This mind is full of wisdom. This mind is easily connecting with every object around. This mind is just beautiful. So this is our purpose. This is our goal. This is how our mind should be. So I'm going to stop here. Hari Om.